Fallout as a cannibal is not new to me. I've done it on Fallout 4, which was pretty easy. Then I did it on Fallout New Vegas, which was brutally difficult. But that's not quite good enough. I need to do something even harder. So today I will be attempting to beat Fallout 3 as a cannibal. To get started, I've got to create a character, and I am of course recreating Cannibal Schmechter from my previous Cannibal videos. And while I do that, let me tell you about the rules for this challenge. It's pretty simple. The first rule is I can only use the rolling pin to attack, and the second rule is I can only heal by eating people. They may be simple rules, but the pain they will cause me will be immense. And it looks like Cannibal is done. So now it's time to watch him grow up. For my special stats, I went with a heap of strength, charisma, and luck, and put everything I could spare into endurance, because I'm gonna need a health bar longer than my girlfriend's impressive to get through this challenge. After that, I had a birthday party. No human flesh on the menu though, so that's absolutely heartbreaking. And I had to shoot this rad roach with a BB gun, which is the only time in this challenge where I will be forced to use something other than the rolling pin. And I won't count that as a failure, because if I did, every Fallout 3 challenge video would be a failure. Then I made some questionable choices on my GOAT exam and had the results amended to represent my true passions for melee weapons, sneaking, and speech. But now it seems Liam Neeson has escaped the vault and I must track him down. So I told Butch that he's a big, strong, handsome man that can solve his own problems. Then I got the keys from the overseer and left the vault without hurting anyone, because I may be a cannibal, all I want to do is eat people, but that doesn't mean I'm violent. And with that, I hit level 2, which I think is a good time to bring up a pretty major problem I'm gonna have in this challenge, and that is that I will not have access to the cannibal perk until I reach level 12. So we're gonna be running around without the ability to heal for a huge chunk of this challenge. And that is exactly what makes Fallout 3 so much harder than the previous installments in my Cannibal Challenge series. But for now, I've got some business to do with Moira over at Craterside Supply. She wants me to get irradiated, so I went and posted up next to the nuke. The reason I'm doing this isn't just for the little bit of XP, it's also for the rad regeneration perk, so that I can heal my crippled limbs by being irradiated, which is pretty important because I can't exactly use stim packs in this challenge to heal those limbs. Anyway, with that perk collected, I really should get myself a rolling pin so that I can start fighting my way through the capital wasteland, because I've got myself a dad to catch up to. Due to the fact that this is only my second Fallout 3 playthrough ever, finding Mama Dolce's in the city to collect my glorious rolling pin took me quite a while, and I lost a lot of my precious health along the way. But I eventually made it to Mama Dolce's and liberated the rolling pin from the evils of communism. I then used the rolling pin to beat up the communists, because I quite frankly can't think of any sensible arguments against their ideology, so I'll just use violence instead. With my weapons now collected, it is time to continue my journey. Moira wants me to collect some mines, so that's first on the agenda. I lost pretty much all the health that I had left while I was going to the minefield, some mole rats, perhaps revenge for what I did to Snuffles in my previous video. But I did eventually collect the mines, and Moira appreciates that, but it didn't make me hit level 12, so I'm not talking to her anymore. The betrayal I feel is overwhelming and absolutely soul-crushing, and I will have my revenge. So for my new Moira-less task, I'm gonna chase after good old Qui-Gon Jinn. To get started, I fast traveled out the front of Super Duper Mart and got killed by raiders. Then I used up a whole stealth boy to get past 4 ghouls. Then I got killed by a super mutant before finally arriving at Galaxy News Radio. I hate this challenge already. At Galaxy News Radio, I let the Brotherhood deal with the behemoth, because I'm just a little guy. Nothing I can do about it. And also I beat up behemoth with just a rolling pin in my Fallout 4 cannibal video. So if that's what you want to see, I've already done it. You can go and watch that. 3Dog helped me reach level 3, but that's not quite good enough, and there's no way I'm heading over to the Washington Monument right now to help him out when my health bar looks like this, and I can't heal. Next up, I tried to check out the Super Duper Mart for Moira, but that is quite simply not going to be happening right now due to my absolutely pathetic amount of health. So instead, I tried and failed to make it to Oasis for a nice chill side quest. Then I tried again and failed, then I failed some more. So instead, I'm gonna head to Rivet City and see if I can find myself some XP there. So far, I've got to say, this challenge is not going very well at all. If this doesn't get easier soon, I think I might just have to give up on YouTube and start spending my free time looking for a job instead. Traveling to Rivet City came with its problems and little issues, but I made it in the end, and the shell of a character known as Madison Lee let me know that Papa went over to Project Purity, so I'll get around to that when I can bear facing off against super mutants. Right now, their succulent green skin is just too much for me to bear, so instead, I'll be doing the replicated man side quest. And while I'm picking up quests, Abraham Washington has asked me to find him the Declaration of Independence. But again, that entails super mutants. So I think I'll just stick to the synth situation for now. I took a very graceful leap into the water to start my swim around looking for Horace Pinkerton. Then I died no less than 10 times during my swim around due to Mirelurks and some other unfortunate shenanigans, which was pretty demoralizing. I need you all to go down into the comments right now, say some nice things about me to cheer me up, because otherwise I don't know if I can get through this challenge. Anyway, Horace gave me the evidence I needed. I ignored Victoria Watts because I do not need the railroad in my life when I'm doing a Fallout 3 video. I get plenty of them in Fallout 4. Then I let Harkness know that he's a robot, which I hope he enjoys knowing. Don't really care about him at all. Probably gonna kill him later for fun, actually. I just did this for the XP. Next up on the agenda is to destroy Moira's dreams and convince her not to write the Wasteland Survival Guide, because what's more important to me than any magazine, no matter how educational it may be, is that doing this to Moira more than doubles her repair skill, which is absolutely amazing for repairing my rolling pin. And I definitely do not want to have this thing breaking on me. And as a nice bonus, I also get the Dream Crusher perk, which makes me more resistant to crit hits. So if I've taken any lesson from this, it's that I should just try to ruin everyone's dreams. Seems only good things ever come from it. I'm still only level 4 though, so I'm gonna need to do some more side questing, which brings me to Oasis, successfully this time, where I happily lapped up Harold's gooey ooze like a good girl and got to work ruining his life. He wants me to kill him. I'm not doing that. Instead, I'm gonna make him thrive. And to do that, I have to once again go for a swim getting harassed by Mirelurks to make it all the way to Harold's big, beautiful heart. This also resulted in some Mirelurk related fatalities, and I also crushed myself to death with a barrel to keep things interesting, but I did eventually make it to Harold's heart. Then I died one more time before applying the liniment to make him grow up to be a big, strong boy. Harold didn't like that, but I got my XP, so I hope he has fun with his eternal life. Now, I've just got 7 levels to go. Seeing as I'm losing so much health so quickly in this challenge, after leaving Oasis, I headed to Rivet City and purchased myself some combat armor to try to keep that health up for a little bit longer. While I was in Rivet City, I also played matchmaker and organized a wedding, thinking that it would give me XP, but all it gave me was good karma. I promise you, I will get my revenge for this absolutely putrid betrayal of my trust. This city will suffer. And while seeing as this is a cannibalism challenge, there are some wonderful friends that I can meet in Fallout 3. So I headed over and met the family. They're quite lovely people, and on the subject of the whole blood drinking thing, I won't be taking a leaf out of their book and drinking blood to heal, because it actually isn't 100% confirmed anywhere that the blood bags are human blood. So I'll just continue suffering, because I guess I just like suffering. While visiting them, I bought a couple stealth boys, because stealth boys are a great asset if you're someone like me avoiding taking any damage because you can't heal. Anyway, I'll be back to visit the family later, but for now, I'm heading out to try and use those stealth boys to get past the super mutants into Project Purity. Because now that I think about it, pretty sure I have a dad I'm supposed to be catching up with. Inside the Jefferson Memorial, there was a case of unfortunate timing, and I ended up with my nose inserted between a super mutant's veiny green cheeks, which rendered my stealth boy pretty ineffective, so I started running. While running, I managed to whack a super mutant to death with my dough-making implement. Then I was whacked to death by his friend. My next attempt, things went a lot cleaner, and I managed not to become a schmannable sandwich between 2 slices of thick green bread. And I made it to the control room stealthily to collect the holotapes belonging to the lion from Narnia. Now I just need to escape Project Purity. So I died fighting super mutants, then I died fighting super mutants, then I didn't die fighting super mutants, and made my escape. And my health's an absolute mess now, more than ever. For the next step in my evil plan, I'm gonna try to address this little health problem problem because I've still got 7 levels to go before I can get myself the Cannibal perk. So I headed over to Tenpenny Tower because ghouls have a chance to drop human flesh when killed, and if I get myself the ghoul mask, there is a chance that that could become a viable option for getting health. Anyway, after checking in with those bastards at Tenpenny, I went down to the beautiful metro tunnels to speak with my close personal friend Roy. On the way to Roy, there were some shenanigans with a lovely gentleman. I've decided to call him Sir Percival von Goulington. He killed me because I suck at this game, then I ran away into the metro like the coward I am. The tunnels went super well, and I made it to Roy. He asked me to get him into Tenpenny Tower instead of killing him. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I've had the ghouls go in and kill everyone in the tower before, so I'm gonna do something different this time, and I'm gonna try to negotiate. Luckily, I had my speech stat up pretty high from when I was destroying Moira's dreams earlier, so convincing everyone to allow ghouls in wasn't a difficult task at all, and Mr. Tenpenny gave the go-ahead for the ghouls to move in. Roy was very happy with the news and gave me an absolute beautiful facelift as a reward. I can't wait for my dad to see me like this. I tried my hand at some ghoul slaying on my way out, but no delicious human flesh came to meet me. I took out some more ghouls, and still, no flesh. I think the drop rate for human flesh is just way too low for me to bother going for, so that was all a complete waste of time, and I'm now going to have to find myself some people to eat another way. But we'll loop back to that soon. For now, I want to help out my vampire brethren in the family with their affairs. So I headed over to Arafu, and one of the beautiful homes in Arafu, it's quite frankly a bit of a mess. And I've got to go find the freshly slaughtered family's missing son, so he can tell me what happened to cause such a horrible mess. He's with the family, and what happened is he killed his family because he was quite hungry, which is pretty relatable to me, so I told him to stay with the family because us cannibals really should stick together. I also negotiated with Vance for the family to protect Arafu in exchange for blood packs, which proves that cannibals can be good, responsible, productive members of society. So now it's time to visit Andale because, as I said, I need to loop back to getting myself some people to eat. Now technically, the meat here is called strange meat, not human flesh, so I'm gonna need to justify myself as to why I'm allowed to eat it. And my justification is the giant pile of human bodies in the room where they keep the meat. Not good enough for you? Leave a comment degrading me and I'll make sure to give you a little gold star or something for effort. So now that we're all on board with the strange meat, I looted it all up and slaughtered all of the residents of Andale, leaving me with a heightened thirst for blood and 69 strange meat. So that should definitely improve my situation, at least for a while. But I'm a bit mushed up now, so I headed over to Megaton and soaked in the glow of the nuke to heal my injured limbs. Then healed my radiation with the doctor, repaired my smashing stick with Moira, and now I'm good to go get some work done. As a little boost, I grabbed a stealth way out of a rock by Megaton before heading over to Vault 112 to find our dearest Liam Neeson. Entering Tranquility Lane got me one step closer to level 12. Now I've just got to get out of here. I played along with Betty's games at first. I made Timmy cry, I destroyed a marriage, but when I was asked to creatively murder Mabel Henderson, I just couldn't do it. The urge to use the buffed rolling pin in the simulation and just beat her to death was way too tempting, so I pulled out the rolling pin and she somehow exploded to death. My bloodlust might have gone a little out of hand and the rolling pin claimed a few extra victims, so now it's time for me to get out of here. So I did the little password thingy, the communists claimed their revenge on me from that little incident at Mama Dolce's, and I escaped the simulation and reunited with two-time Tony Award nominated actor Liam Neeson. The first thing he wants to do now that he's reunited with his son is speak to one of his co-workers. And now they want me to go help clear out the super mutants at Project Purity because my father doesn't value me as a person and just wants me around so he can have someone he controls. And seeing as I still have some flesh that I can eat, I'm gonna take care of those super mutants now. Things went pretty well, I didn't take too much damage, and it's cuddled up behind the super mutants real close and intimately, and they couldn't bring themselves to swing their weapons around to get rid of me. I needed to snack a bit to get through this, but it wasn't too bad, I've still got some meat left. I even went down and cleared out the basement for later as well, because I am just a disgusting beast made to be the most brutal super mutant dismantler that anyone can imagine. And would you believe, instead of spending some quality time with me, my piece of shit father wants me to go run more errands for him. So I pressed some buttons, replaced some fuses, and did some more button pressing. Then I watched the Enclave arrive, so that's brilliant. To make things better, the Enclave then killed my dad, which honestly isn't really a big deal. I don't think he really liked me, so I'm not too upset over that. But now I need to fight my way through a bunch of Enclave soldiers with my significantly diminished flesh supplies, which I can't lie, I'm a bit more upset about than my dad dying. Fortunately, I remembered I can just lock the fuck in, and that worked pretty well for me. I got through the Enclave soldiers, and in the tunnel leaving Project Purity, I just had to deal with some ghouls, which considering I have the ghoul mask, that's even less of a problem. My crew crippling Candy Crush addiction, which totally isn't a problem, by the way. Anyway, once we made it through the ghouls, I was allowed into the Brotherhood of Steel, and they're gonna be a lot less annoying in this video than they were in my New Vegas cannibal video. The next part of the main quest is to find myself a Gek, and to find a Gek, I'm gonna need to go to Vault 87, so it's lucky I just grabbed the Child at Heart perk when I got to the Citadel. But for now, I healed my broken head using the Megaton nuke, repaired some gear, and checked on the dismal remains of my strange meat supply. And it's not like I can really get any more strange meat, kinda low-key killed all the people that make it. So moving forward, I plan to start relying on stealth boys while I continue my journey to level 12, with a few bits of buff out and psycho sprinkled in. So I went to the Franklin Metro utility tunnel to steal 1, 2, 3, and 4 stealth boys. Then I purchased a bunch of buff out and psycho at River City because I enjoy the flavor and so that I can survive. And with my new toys, I'm gonna go ahead and do some side quests because I am still 4 whole levels away from getting that cannibal perk, which at this point in the video is kind of ridiculous. For starters, I headed into the Museum of Technology, snuck around a bit, then started learning all about vaults, strange looking doohickeys, super mutant attacks, and rocket ships, before stealing a chunk of this lunar lander to help 3Dog out. And now that I have the satellite dish, I've got to flex my absolutely crazy super mutant killing skills. I mean, the way I'm dodging these attacks is straight up beautiful. Only Schmannable Schmector is capable of pulling maneuvers like this. With my new friend Freedom, after escaping the museum, I placed the dish on top of the Washington Monument. But before I return to 3Dog, I'm gonna go full Nicolas Cage and steal the Declaration of Independence. Inside the National Archives, would you believe, there are a whole bunch of super mutants that I have to deal with. Fortunately, I have someone else around that also wants the Declaration of Independence. So the super mutant killing won't all be on me, which is great because my health bar is starting to really stress me out. So I snuck past the mutants, showed this monstrosity how much I appreciate it by beating it to death, said hello to a landmine, then hung out with some robot friends, said goodbye to my robot friends, and with all this practice socializing with robots, I was able to convince this one that I'm Thomas Jefferson, so that I can claim the Declaration of Independence for myself. On the way out, I killed a mutant and then another mutant before turning in the quests. 3Dog got me a level up, so things are starting to get pretty exciting. Just 3 more levels to go until we get that elusive cannibal perk. Abraham Washington didn't level me up though because he fucking sucks. After this, I wasted all the health I got from leveling up, finding some super mutants on my way into Little Lamplight. And I may be in Little Lamplight, but I'm not planning to head into the vault just yet. For that, I'm gonna need some more stealth boys. To start off with, I got Moira to repair my stuff. I'm so glad I made her miserable earlier. That was a really good decision. Next, I ran all the way to Canterbury Commons, watched the clowns get up to their shenanigans, then gave Uncle Rose 700 caps to increase Crazy Wolfgang's stock. And the reason that I've done this is now Crazy Wolfgang will give me 4 whole stealth boys for free. So that's just fabulous and exactly what we need right now. So it is now time for me to head through Murder Pass, which is pretty easy to get through thanks to the stealth boys, barring some exceptions. Anyway, inside the vault, I leveled up, then I took the Here and Now perk to level up again, and now I am just 1 level away from the Cannibal perk. But I don't have the perk yet, so I used the health I got from 2 level ups to start fighting through some super mutants, until I ran out of health, then pivoted to sneaking around until I found my new best friend, Forks. I had to fight some more of the locals to free Forks, but now that I'm with him, he can take care of most of the fighting for me, so I followed him through to the Gek, waited for him to fetch it for me, then I received the Gek. Now I just need to leave. And that didn't work out too well because the Enclave decided to capture me. Unfortunately, I'm not quite level 12 yet, so my teeth must wait just a little longer to start chewing through some Enclave flesh. So I went and got killed by them instead, and so that didn't happen again. I deployed another stealth boy and once again resorted to sneaking around until I arrived before the president, Dr. Samuel Loomis. But from the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, not the originals, because President Eden is played by Malcolm McDowell, not Donald Pleasance. Honestly, I probably should have just gone with like a Dr. Monty from Black Ops 3 reference to save myself from explaining all this, but it's too late now. Anyway, the president unfortunately disagreed when I asked him to kill himself, so I moved along and ran past as turrets shot at Enclave soldiers. Very glad I don't have to kill them. I swear, if I have to kill another person and not eat them, I am going to lose my mind. Anyway, I'm out now, Fox says hi, and I'm off to the Citadel, where I attended a meeting. And this meeting is a very, very significant meeting, because getting out of this meeting, I finally reached level 12. The video may nearly be over, but the Cannibal perk is finally mine and I can start eating people. My first stop is Arafu. And I gotta tell you something, I am really hungry. So I slaughtered them, then ate them, and now the entire town is gone. But I am far from finished. Next is Old Man Harris, the last survivor of Andale. Then I headed to the Super Duper Mart and I really took my time killing and killing and killing and killing before I started eating everyone in the place. The shelves may be empty, but there is plenty of food in here for me. I'm a bit beaten up and tired from all that though, so I healed up at the Megaton Nuke again, then got my gear repaired by Moira. I decided not to eat Moira because I figured that she would probably taste pretty depressed after everything I've put her through. So with that finished, it's time for the main course. I'm going to get revenge on Rivet City for that wedding debacle earlier, because the fact I didn't get XP for it is honestly just unacceptable. Started with these two. They tasted like they live in a big stinky boat, which honestly makes a lot of sense. So I continued chewing through the city, devouring these rather mediocre tasting people. They may not be well seasoned, but at least they're nice and tender thanks to my rolling pin. I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse of me eating the entirety of River City. I enjoyed eating them, and now it's time to get out of there and speak to Sentinel Lions, get Liberty Prime deployed, and finish this game. And the absolute highlight of walking to Project Purity today wasn't getting to watch Liberty Prime do his thing like it usually is. The real pleasure this time was finally getting the opportunity to eat an Enclave soldier, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. Getting revenge for all the bullshit they've put me through, it just tastes brilliant. Now I'm at Project Purity, so I headed inside to continue beating the Enclave with a rolling pin and eating them. This Cannibal challenge thing is a lot easier now that I actually have the Cannibal perk. Who would have thought? And now I've fought through Project Purity and I'm looking at Colonel Autumn, and to be 100% honest with you, I want to eat him, but he doesn't look like he's doing very well. He seems kind of uptight and stressed, and that can't be good for the flavor. So I told him to go take a break, just go somewhere else. And hopefully a holiday will make him a little tastier when I do finally get around to eating him. I also think that, to be honest, it might be easier to eat the entire Capital Wasteland if they're all already dead. So I inserted the modified FEV, just like Dr. Monty asked me to, and sacrificed myself in the radiation chamber. And that is how I beat Fallout 3 as a cannibal. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. I know this one took quite a long time to come out. I've been pretty busy. There was a video that I had to scrap. I got a new job, got a new girlfriend, I moved house, and I also got diagnosed with bipolar, which is a pretty good excuse for being inconsistent. And on top of that, I need to make sure to give an extra special thanks to my members on the channel, Audibugi and Insect Liquid. Now, on the subject of Audibugi, he's just put out a video doing Can You Beat Doom Eternal with only the shotgun on Nightmare difficulty. It's a really great video, so if you're looking for something to watch after this, I'll have it linked up in the corner and in the description. So I hope you have a lovely day. See you next time.